After age 60, your brain loses up to 5% of its weight every decade. That is not a theory, that is data. And what is shrinking is not just volume, it is your ability to remember names, process thoughts, and stay mentally sharp when it matters most. If you have noticed that you wake up groggy, mentally scattered, or struggling to follow a simple conversation, you are not making it up. It is not just age, it is a breakdown in the very system that keeps your brain connected. And the truth is, most people are fueling their bodies but starving their brains, especially at night when the brain is doing its deepest repair work. I am not here to scare you. I am here to show you how something incredibly simple, 3 common types of fish, can help your brain recover, reconnect, and even rebuild lost memory pathways while you sleep. I have seen it happen. Patients who were terrified they were losing it began to think clearly again. Men who forgot their wife's birthday 3 years in a row started planning surprise dinners. Women who could not finish a crossword puzzle now blaze through them in ink. It did not take a miracle. It took the right food at the right time. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. I am Dr. Alan Mandell, and this is Senior Health Compass, where we turn real science into real hope for those over 60. If that sounds like something worth following, hit that subscribe button and stay with me, because in just a few minutes I am going to walk you through 3 fish you can find at any local store, foods that do not just nourish your body, but wake your brain up from the inside. No pills, no hype, just food that speaks your brain's language. And here's the twist. These are not exotic or expensive. In fact, they are often the ones people walk right past in the store or even throw out because they smell too strong. But the very oils in these fish are what your brain is desperately asking for. You will understand exactly why that is, because I am going to show you how the brain actually repairs itself while you sleep, what nutrients it depends on, and why these 3 fish, sardines, mackerel, and tuna, can help restore mental clarity, boost your memory, and strengthen brain signals in ways most supplements cannot. By the end of this video, you will not only know what to eat, but when and how to use it to support your brain's natural recovery rhythm overnight. Let us start with the smallest fish and the biggest surprise. Sardines might be the most underrated brain repair food in your kitchen. Small, oily, often packed in cans and forgotten in the back of the cupboard. But for your brain, especially a brain over 60, sardines are pure gold. The real magic lies in their fat, specifically docosahexaenoic acid, or DHA. This is one of the most important building blocks of the brain, and when I say building blocks, I mean it literally. The gray matter in your brain, the part responsible for memory, emotion, and processing, contains up to 60% DHA by weight. But here is the problem. After age 60, your body's ability to synthesize and retain DHA drops significantly. What does that mean? It means the highways your brain uses to send signals become bumpy, broken, or even shut down. Thoughts slow, memory slips, emotions become harder to regulate, and if your brain is starved of DHA during the night, when it should be repairing itself, these problems only get worse. Now here is where sardines shine. Just 2 ounces of sardines deliver over 500 milligrams of DHA in its most absorbable form. Not processed, not powdered, real, ready-to-use omega-3 fatty acids that your brain can immediately convert into myelin, the insulating layer that keeps your neurons firing fast and smooth. In a 2021 study published in the journal Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, older adults who increased DHA intake through oily fish like sardines experienced improved memory recall and attention span within 12 weeks. The changes were not subtle. MRI scans showed increased cortical thickness in key brain areas linked to memory consolidation. And it does not stop there. Sardines are also one of the richest food sources of vitamin B12. Why does that matter? Because B12 helps produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter essential for forming new memories. When B12 is low, the brain's ability to store and retrieve information gets sluggish. That is why many seniors with early cognitive decline also show low B12 levels in blood tests. There is more. Sardines contain natural coenzyme Q10 and selenium, two antioxidants that help reduce neuroinflammation, which is a silent trigger of memory loss in older adults. Less inflammation means your brain can send cleaner, stronger signals, especially during sleep when repair is most active. I had a patient named Harold who could not finish a sentence without losing his train of thought. He was not sick, just tired of feeling foggy. We added sardines to his dinner twice a week, served cold with olive oil and lemon, and within a month his wife called me. "He is back," she said. "He is making jokes again, and he remembered our wedding song." Now you might be wondering, how do I use sardines if I do not like the smell or texture? Here is the trick. You do not need to eat them straight from the can. Mix them into warm congee with ginger, mash them into an avocado spread on toast. Add them to a chickpea salad with lemon and herbs. The key is consistency. 2 to 3 times a week at night, about 2 to 3 ounces per serving. And always choose wild-caught sardines in water or olive oil. Avoid those packed in soybean oil or heavy sauces that mask the flavor but damage the benefit. What makes sardines different from supplements is synergy. You are not just getting DHA, you are getting it with the minerals, coactors, and enzymes your brain expects it to come with. That is why the effects are often stronger, faster, and more sustainable. When seniors ask me, "How do I wake up clear again?" I do not point to a pill. I point to a fish, a small, humble fish that has been quietly nourishing sharp minds for generations, if we remember to put it back on the table. Now that you understand what sardines can do, imagine what happens when you add a second fish that multiplies the signal strength inside your brain, one that does not just restore, but amplifies the connections as you sleep. If sardines rebuild the structure of your brain, mackerel powers up the electricity running through it. Every thought, every memory, every emotion you feel relies on one thing: signal strength between neurons. Without it, even the healthiest brain becomes sluggish. Messages slow down, processing gets delayed. You might know the word you want to say, but feel like it is sitting just out of reach. That is not forgetfulness. It is a delay in communication. What makes mackerel so powerful for the brain is not just its omega-3 content, though it is remarkably high, almost 5,000 milligrams per serving. What sets it apart is its role in supporting myelin regeneration. Myelin is the protective sheath around your neurons. Think of it as insulation on a wire. The better the insulation, the faster and cleaner the signal. When myelin breaks down with age, your brain becomes noisier, less efficient, and more fatigued. During deep sleep, the brain attempts to restore this insulation, and the key ingredients it needs to do that, EPA, DHA, and vitamin D, are all abundantly present in mackerel. In fact, mackerel is one of the few foods naturally rich in all three. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2020 found that seniors who consumed fatty fish such as mackerel at least 3 times a week had significantly better myelin integrity on brain imaging scans compared to those who did not. This translated into sharper mental clarity, better reaction times, and improved verbal fluency, all without the use of medication. But there is another reason mackerel stands out. It is also one of the richest dietary sources of selenium, a trace mineral that plays a critical role in protecting brain cells from oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is like rust. It gradually breaks down cell structures and impairs communication across neural pathways. In older adults, this oxidative damage is a known contributor to age-related cognitive decline. According to a 2021 study in Neurobiology of Aging, seniors with higher selenium levels performed better on memory and coordination tasks. The researchers concluded that selenium helped maintain synaptic plasticity, the brain's ability to rewire and strengthen connections even during aging. Mackerel also delivers a unique compound called vitamin B6, which is essential for the synthesis of neurotransmitters such as serotonin and dopamine. These chemicals not only affect mood, but also regulate how you focus, store memories, and process new information. As the body's ability to absorb B6 diminishes with age, having a reliable bioavailable source becomes even more critical. And unlike many larger fish, mackerel is a low mercury species, making it safe for frequent consumption, especially among older adults. That is why many neurologists recommend mackerel over options like swordfish or king mackerel, which can carry higher toxin loads. The easiest way to enjoy mackerel is grilled, steamed, or straight from a can packed in olive oil. Keep it simple, keep it consistent. 2 to 3 servings a week are enough to give your brain the steady support that pills often fail to deliver. What makes mackerel special is this: it does not just protect your brain, it fine-tunes it, clears the static, speeds up the signal, and helps you think like yourself again. Together with sardines, it forms a powerful duo for brain repair while you sleep. But the real surprise is the third fish, the one you have probably already bought, not knowing it could help your brain fire on all cylinders by morning. Tuna is the fish you probably already have at home. It is easy to store, easy to prepare, and often overlooked when we talk about brain health. But that plainkin sitting in your pantry might just be your brain's best shot at restoring memory, especially after 60. Let us start with the science. Tuna is rich in vitamin B3, also known as niacin, which plays a critical role in cellular energy metabolism in the brain. Every thought you form and every memory you recall requires energy. Niacin helps convert the food you eat into usable brain fuel. When levels are low, neurons struggle to fire properly, leading to poor recall, confusion, and mental fatigue. A 2020 study in the journal Nutrients found that older adults with higher B3 intake had significantly better scores on memory and cognition tests. The results were clear. B3 did not just protect the brain, it helped it work smarter. But B3 is just one piece. Tuna is also one of the best natural sources of dopamine precursors. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter responsible for motivation, focus, and memory encoding. Without enough of it, your ability to stay mentally alert and retain information declines. That is why people with dopamine imbalances often describe their mind as fuzzy or foggy. Tuna contains the amino acid tyrosine, which the brain uses to make dopamine. During sleep, especially in the early stages of deep rest, dopamine pathways go through a reset, clearing out old signals and reinforcing new ones. When the brain has enough tyrosine in the system, that reset becomes more efficient, leading to better memory consolidation by morning. Tuna also contains vitamin B6, which acts as a coenzyme in the production of dopamine, serotonin, and GABA. These are not just mood chemicals. They are essential for mental clarity and emotional stability. As we age, our ability to absorb B6 decreases, which makes food-based sources like tuna even more valuable. And here is something most people do not know. Tuna provides glutamate balancing nutrients. Glutamate is the brain's main excitatory neurotransmitter, but too much glutamate can lead to neuron overstimulation, anxiety, and even neurodegeneration. Tuna's combination of omega-3 fatty acids and B vitamins helps regulate this system, protecting neurons from nighttime overactivity and allowing the brain to reset properly. Of course, not all tuna is created equal. For brain health, it is best to choose light tuna, especially skipjack, because it is lower in mercury than albacore. Look for tuna packed in water or olive oil without added salt or flavoring, and moderation matters. 1 or 2 servings a week are enough to give your brain the building blocks it needs without exposing you to heavy metals. I remember a retired teacher named Elaine. She told me she was forgetting words mid-sentence during her book club meetings and feeling embarrassed. We added tuna to her lunch twice a week, simple tuna salad with cucumber and lemon. By the 3rd week, she smiled and said, "The words came back. I did not have to search for them. They were just there." That is the power of giving your brain the tools it needs. Not complicated routines, not expensive treatments, just the right nutrient at the right time, especially when the brain is doing its deepest healing while you sleep. When you bring together sardines, mackerel, and tuna, you are not just feeding your body, you are feeding the very circuits of your mind. But knowledge alone does not rebuild the brain. Action does. And now it is time to bring everything together into a simple daily plan you can follow starting tonight. By now you understand the power behind these three common fish. Sardines rebuild the brain structure. Mackerel strengthens the signal. Tuna clears the fog and locks in memory. But how do you actually use them in real life without turning your kitchen into a science lab? Here is the good news. You do not need to cook like a chef or follow a strict medical diet. You only need to create a simple rhythm that your brain can rely on, a rhythm that aligns with how your brain heals itself at night. Step 1 begins at the grocery store. Keep 2 to 3 small cans of each fish in your pantry. Sardines in water or olive oil. Mackerel packed in olive oil or steamed and stored in the refrigerator. Light tuna, preferably skipjack, in water. When these are within reach, the habit begins before the meal even starts. Step 2 is picking your days. You do not need all 3 fish every night. Start with sardines on Monday, mackerel on Wednesday, and tuna on Friday. Give your brain variety without pressure. Each meal can be as simple as a small bowl of warm congee with sardines stirred in, or a slice of whole grain toast with mashed tuna and lemon. You are not feeding your stomach, you are fueling your mind. 2 to 3 ounces at dinner is enough. Step 3 is timing. The brain starts its deepest repair cycle within 2 to 3 hours after falling asleep. That means your evening meal is your last chance to give it what it needs. Aim to finish dinner about 3 hours before bed. That way, your body digests calmly and those nutrients are circulating right as your brain begins its reset. No heavy sauces, no distractions, just clean, focused nutrition. Many of my older patients ask, is it too late for me? The answer is no. The brain never stops responding to the right signals. Even if you have been forgetting names, misplacing items, or waking up foggy, it is not irreversible. What you eat before bed could determine how clearly you think tomorrow morning. Start with 3 nights a week, 1 fish, 1 purpose, 1 clear intention to help your brain reconnect with itself. Over time, you can adjust, explore new recipes, or repeat your favorites, but the foundation stays the same. Give your brain what it needs when it needs it. And as you begin to feel more focused, more present, more like yourself, you will understand something powerful. Food was never just fuel, it was medicine waiting to be used properly. Now you have got the knowledge. In the final part of this video, I want to leave you with something deeper than instructions, a message of hope for every senior who feels like their mind is slipping away. Because I promise it is not too late to get it back. If your thoughts have been slower lately, if your memory has felt like it is slipping through your fingers, you are not broken. You are not fading. You are simply undernourished in the way your brain truly needs. The world often tells seniors to expect decline, to accept confusion, forgetfulness, and fog as just part of getting old. But the truth is, your brain is still alive, still capable, still waiting for the right support to come back online. You have now learned about 3 simple foods, sardines, mackerel, and tuna, that go beyond basic nutrition. They speak the language of your brain. They rebuild what time tried to take away. They amplify signals, restore memory pathways, and protect the very thoughts that make you you. This is not about perfection. It is not about chasing youth. It is about reclaiming clarity, about waking up and feeling present again, able to focus, to laugh, to remember, to be in the moment with the people and memories you love most. If you have watched this far, thank you. Truly, that tells me something powerful. You have not given up on your brain, and neither have I. If this video gave you even one insight, one spark of hope, please consider clicking the like button. Share it with someone you care about, and if you have ever had a moment where your mind felt off and you did not know why, drop a comment below. Your story might help someone else realize they are not alone. And of course, if you want more practical, science-backed guidance for staying sharp after 60, hit that subscribe button and join our community here at Pure Health Tips. Because your mind matters, your clarity matters, and there is still so much more life to live, fully aware, fully connected, fully present.